Hello and welcome to FinextraTV. I'm Alex Lipich and you join us at the Communify Fincentric experience. And I'm delighted to be kindly joined in the studio today by Kasey Gaines of Psalm Capital. It's a pleasure to have you here, Kasey. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you, pleasure to be here.
And how are you enjoying the event so far?
Loving it so far. Yeah, I've gotten, our firm's got a little bit of unexpected amount of love, so appreciated it. Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
So let's start by setting the scene. Given your personal experience, how well informed would you say is the average high net worth investor? Let's start there.
Well, I think they're a lot more informed than they would be in the past. Given the amount of information available to people online, compared to where we were a decade ago, I think they're a lot more informed. Now, are they all the same comprehension? Are they all the same goals? You know, I'm sure there's a big population still using it as speculation, but I think if you look back to where investors were 10 years ago and where we are now, I think they have a lot more tools at their hands. So.
Speaking of the tools, you've dealt with some high net worth, or you still do, net worth investors. You have a background, an interesting one, in athletics. Can you tell us a bit more about how you manage their portfolios?
Yeah, so our main goal is to do all the heavy lifting. So we take everything off their hands. They have busy, complicated lives, so we look at ourselves as the personal CFO of that family, and do anything and everything. It's very hands-on, very ad hoc, and try to take as much off their plate as we can so that they can focus on what they do best in being an athlete.
Thinking of novice investors, what do you think are the key steps for them to have that smooth, successful trajectory in the industry?
Yeah, I think first, sort of be curious, take advantage of those resources and knowledge that we were talking about that's available to them now. Ask questions, work with an advisor. I think everybody should work with an advisor. I think advisors should work with an advisor. And then, figure out your risk tolerance and your objectives with your portfolio. And then so you can sort of plan and put into place your allocation of the portfolio. And then, a smooth ride it has different meanings to different investors. But I think once you kind of figure out your risk tolerance and your goals, you can kind of build a portfolio that'll give you that. So.
Sure. I like that. An advisor needs an advisor.
Yeah,
it's a really interesting point.
Yeah.
So the world, I'm sure you'll agree, has been in an unsettled place over recent years. What impact would you say that's had specifically on financial education?
Well, I think it's sort of required people to take things into their own hands and to do the research themselves. I think if you look, 2 decades ago, the extent of investing for the average investor was contributing to their employer retirement plan, and that was kind of it. And I think as time went on and then resources became more available, I think people started asking more questions more. They said, hey, I need a taxable account, individual account as well to complement my retirement plan. And so I think it's in a good place. Yeah, it's only going to get better.